All right, fellas, Midtown Tavern this week. Such a big game. Had to bring in not one, two more talking heads, as if you weren't enough.
I know, and I talk a lot. Now you got to worry about Greg Pickle, and that's a problem.
Looking at the season so far, who's your MVP so far for the team?
Go.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. Trace McSorley is the guy. Some had doubts about him coming into the season with his arm strength in particular and some other things, but he's a guy that's won at every level that he's played at.
I think you go with the guy who's the most important player on the team and means the most, and that's Saquon. I mean, the numbers he's having this season are no surprise.
I think Saquon is their best player. I think Trace is their most important player. And I think the most surprising player for me has been DeAndre Tompkins, the wideout. He's consistently been able to make plays.
The boring pick of the week for MVP would be maybe Mayen at tackle.
Yeah.
The offensive line has been pretty good, but I got to go with McSorley as well. Yeah. Just hero ball. That's how he beat Minnesota. That's how they came back against Pitt.
What I find to be so odd about kind of the contrast of the whiteout game against a team like Ohio State in terms of recruiting is there's no more exciting atmosphere at Beaver Stadium than a whiteout game. But how inspiring is it if a recruit comes to a game like this and sees Penn State potentially lose by 3 or 4 touchdowns? Is that like, oh wow, great, 100,000 people screaming their heads off, but the team did not look good?
Depends if he has an Ohio State offer, quite honestly. I mean, that's what it comes down to in a lot of ways. If a kid, doesn't have that opportunity, then the impact is less.
Let's pick the game. I'm going to come out right out with mine. These games have been pretty close the last 2 times at Beaver Stadium. I'm going to go 38-24. Penn State enough to cover the 20-point spread. But again, you can't stop JT Barrett. If the fighting J.J. Watts and his brother and all the clones on that Wisconsin team couldn't do it, Penn State can't either.
37-14 Buckeyes. I think that Penn State's defense was better when they played at Beaver Stadium 2 years ago. That kept Penn State in that game. I just have a hard time seeing Penn State getting stops on defense, and I have a hard time seeing them moving the ball against Ohio State's pass rush on offense.
I also have it as 38-24 Ohio State.
I
think we spend too much time together.
41-24, the encouraging sign is I think the Penn State offense, with Trace McSorley throwing the ball, is going to score some points on an Ohio State team that might be a little beat up after that Wisconsin game.
Well, this game is not the end-all, be-all for this season, but I think this sandwich right here, the Monte Cristo, the Midtown Tavern is. So, fellas, let's dig in.
That's a great wrap-up.
Yeah, I'm a professional.